on how to do a plastic ornament in InDesign. We've gone through trial by fire. This should make things pretty simple by now. I'm going to go to New File. 75 mils by 75 mils is the setting you want. Make sure you choose millimeters first, then type in that 75 by 75. When we get in here, we're going to go ahead and grab a picture of ourselves, bring it in. Ta-da! Right? I'm going to go and click and drag and hold shift to make myself fill my canvas. Very good. I also probably want to knock down that opacity to something around 60. Lock that layer so I don't mess with it anymore. Okie dokie. After that, I'm going to add a new layer, grab my paintbrush, and I'm also going to want to go up to the top here where I have view, and I want to show my rulers. Go down to rulers, view, rulers, show rulers. Because our school printers have a limited level of fidelity, we need to make sure we help them out as best we can. We should not print anything that is smaller than a millimeter. We can use our ruler, come up here with our brush, and make sure that it's at least a millimeter. Right, if we see that our picture is 75 by 75, a 1 millimeter or so brush, that'll work. Any smaller than that, though, we're going to run into some serious problems, and we don't want that. We don't want that at all. So we're just going to keep coming. Remember, you're trying to find contour lines on your body. You're not trying to go in and highlight every single detail there. That would be weird. Remember again, because this is a Christmas ornament and we're printing out of plastic, all these lines have to connect, or else nobody's going to be able to see them. That would be bad. I'm going to come in, keep tracing my outline here. Very good. Now we have to be thinking about if things are not connected via a line, they will fall. I have to come in here and add the other side of my nose, or all this stuff is just going to be floating in midair. That'd be weird. I'm going to even come in and connect my nose down to my mouth some more. And because I know how plastic works, I might even add some lines in my face that really aren't there. That's okay. It's just going to help create the illusion and also add some structural rigidity. Make it more rigid. Okay. We're getting somewhere now. Okay, what else might I do? I'm going to add some lines to my chin, give that some more definition. I mean, maybe just for the sake of making all this stuff stick together a little bit more, I'm going to add some lines in my forehead that aren't really there. That's okay. I just know that the more plastic I have here, the stronger this ornament is going to end up, which means that we can continue to enjoy it for years and years to come. Don't you hate it when people say stuff like that? Years, and you'll cherish this for years and years to come. All right. How did I do? Still not happy with that nose. It's a weird nose. So I can always come in and delete the parts I'm not happy with and try again. Happier. Alright, for the sake of working quickly here, I'm going to just come in, add some lines to give some detail to my hair, and also, you know, that rigidity thing. We have to think about what this is going to look like when it's a piece of plastic floating in another piece of plastic. Okay, anything else? Well, might come in here, add a line for my neck, just because that, again, gives us some more strength. Strength is good. Again, I'm going to select everything. Now, because we're almost to the final steps here, I'm going to go to Object, Path, Outline, Stroke. That gives me shapes, and shapes are always good. I can then come in here with my shape builder even and go find places where my lines went a little bit outside of the limits. Fix some little tiny mistakes I might have made along the way. Just making, you know, a few little changes here and there to make a cleaner gift for my grandmother. Alright, so now that I've got all this stuff in shapes, I'm going to select it again, and I'm going to use the Pathfinder to smoosh it down into one layer. Life is good. Now I need to just find a shape. I'm going to pick the simplest one, a nice ellipse. To put myself in, I need to make sure that ellipse has no fill, and we're going to give it a nice stroke. Remember, we need this thing to be at least a millimeter, so look at your ruler for scale. I'm going to make it a little bit thicker, that's okay. And now that I've got myself centered in my shape, all is well in the world. I can also probably go and turn my picture off. I don't need it anymore. Again, I'm going to use my shape builder. Well, first step, almost forgot. Gotta put a outline on the stroke outside of my ornament. Now it's time for shape builder. Just like before, I can cut off all my scrap by holding down Option as I draw. Okay, I'm going to add a black fill by clicking plus behind my head. Look at that, pretty close. One last thing, gotta have a hole. How are we going to hang that thing? Going to grab this stuff together, go in again, and of course, shape builder is our friend. When I have everything how I want it, it's time to smoosh it together with a good old-fashioned Pathfinder Unite. And there we have it. Everything on one happy layer. We are ready to file, save, and we're going to save this as an SVG. Of course, give it a good name like Self Portrait Ornament, and save it to your FTD folder. Now, there's settings that are going to pop up. You can leave them all about the same. Just say OK. And once the beach ball goes away, you're ready to move on to the next step.